Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this video on the Capricorn New Moon. So this new moon is happening on the 23rd at 5:16 a.m. Eastern Time. It is the final new moon of the year. And the energies that are being activated are perfect for helping you reflect on the previous year, as well as set your intentions and goals for 2023. So really taking a look at what goals did you achieve this year? What milestones were reached? And that's very Capricorn. As you'll see when we look at the energy of Capricorn, all the planets we have there right now is very much about looking at, okay, this is the work that I put in. This is what I achieved. But also what I invite you to look at is maybe the work that no one else saw that is absolutely worth celebrating. So the healing work that you did this year, the work you did to explore your core belief system and let go of the beliefs that are just outdated and not serving you, and replacing them with ones that align with how you desire to feel and what you desire to achieve. That is all worth celebrating as well. And honestly, it is that inner work that sets the stage and is the core foundation for what you do achieve in the world. We get so focused on the external achievement, right? Having the tangible achievement, but equally as important is all that inner work that leads to it. As you can see, I'm in a different location today. I thought, why not do this video by the Christmas tree and just bring in that holiday spirit? But it's so funny. I have my cat over there and she's just staring at me. She's like, what are you doing? So she may even come over and visit. So before we dive into the new moon chart, I want to welcome anybody who may be new here. My name is Kara, and each week when I do these cosmic energy readings, I'm studying the planetary shifts. So we're taking a look at the astrology, and then I also work within the realm of the Akashic Records. So I love to channel guidance that's coming through from that space. I always study the charts from that energy and vantage point as well. And I love to support the healers of the world, the light workers of the world, the star seeds of this planet in getting your healing work and your message out into the world and receiving abundantly for it. So if that is something that resonates with you, be sure that you subscribe. If you enjoy these videos, please share them out as well. It could be somebody that never would have came across this message if you hadn't shared the video. So if you're called, please do so, and I really appreciate that. So before I share my screen and we go into the new moon energies, there's some context that I want to share as well that will help us understand this new moon even more. So on the 20th, we have Jupiter moving into the sign of Aries. Now, throughout this year, it has visited Aries and then it's been retrograding in Pisces. It's primarily been in Pisces throughout 2022, but it's now moved into Aries and it is moving very quickly through Aries this coming year. And as we finish 2022, and it's even going to move into Taurus. So for some of you, this could be your Jupiter return. In your birth chart, if you have Jupiter in Aries, you're going to have your Jupiter return this year. If you have Jupiter in the earlier degrees of Taurus, you're also going to have your Jupiter return this year. For all of us, Jupiter in Aries is about unleashing your inner warrior. And I love to work with affirmations, and the affirmation that comes to mind when I think of Jupiter in Aries is, I am greater than any challenge that comes my way. I always rise. There's this energy of being unstoppable when we have Jupiter in Aries. It's like nothing can hold me back. I'm moving forward, I'm building momentum, I'm expanding, I'm in my power. I know who I am. I know what I came here to achieve. It's a very empowering energy. So we're working with that. Another thing to keep in mind is we still have Mars retrograding in Gemini until January. And this has been a beautiful opportunity to look at how you use your energy, what you give your attention to. That is so key. Like, be very aware of the information you consume, where your focus is going, and what is draining you. What are those energy leaks in your life? What is depleting you, and what is fueling you? What is inspiring you? Do more of that. It sounds so simple, right? But we really don't always take the time to reflect and look at what is draining me day to day versus what is filling me up. And those energy leaks over time, they add up. And that's when we get burnt out or we get overwhelmed or even physically worn out. So, really, this is an opportunity to look at how am I using my energy? What am I giving my attention to? So I'm going to share my screen now so we can actually have the visual of this beautiful new moon energy. Okay, there we go. We got the new moon chart here. So, as you can see, there's a lot of energy in Capricorn. We have the moon and sun, very early degrees of Capricorn, 1 degree. So, this new moon is also really helping us move into Capricorn season, move into the solstice. There's this beautiful energy here of new beginnings, but also because it's happening near the end of the calendar year of integration and reflection as well. So we also have Venus and Mercury and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. So this is a lot of Capricorn energy that we are working with. And Capricorn is the archetypal energy of responsibility, structure, ambition, goals. In astrology, there's these different houses that we talk about, houses 1 through 12. And Capricorn is the natural ruler of house 10, which is about our public image in the world, our career path, the work that you share in the world. So during Capricorn season, we do become very focused on the goals that we want to reach, what we desire to achieve. And the message coming through from the Akashic Records is to really get clear on how you define success in your life. What does success look like for you at this season of your life? Because this also changes at different seasons and times in our life. So what does it mean and look like for you at this time? Get clear on that, so it's easier to move toward it, right? And also looking at how you desire to feel. How do you desire to feel? What does success look like in that area as well? So every sign of the zodiac has a shadow component as well. So the shadow side of all this Capricorn energy can be disregarding our emotions and how we feel. The opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. So we have Cancer over here. There's not, as you can see, it's not a lot of energy here right now, except all these planets in Capricorn are opposing the Cancerian energy. And Cancer is all about our feelings, our inner world. It's more about the divine feminine, whereas Capricorn is very much about the masculine. So the shadow side of this Capricorn expression can be disregarding how we feel, not taking time to tune into our body. We're just kind of looking at checking things off our to-do list as opposed to why it even matters, if it matters at all, and how we feel as we accomplish those tasks. So just make sure you're checking in, because this energy is very productive, which is awesome, right? It's amazing. It feels good to check things off our to-do list, but only if it actually matters to us and only if we feel good in the process. So just don't negate that side of things. That's what I want you to be aware of in this energy. But Capricorn, it does teach us an important lesson about not allowing our emotions or feelings to derail us. So our emotions are important messengers. They give us a glimpse into what is active in our vibrational field, our auric field, the thoughts that we have been entertaining, the signal we're sending out to the world, aspects of ourselves that may need some extra love and attention. But we don't want to make decisions just based on how we're feeling, because feelings are fleeting. They come and go. Capricorn energy is really good at saying, I'm going to put my feelings aside and do what needs to be done and accomplish what I need to accomplish. So somewhere between this Capricorn and Cancer energy here is where we find the balance of honoring our emotions, but not allowing them to dictate how we show up or the decisions that we make. So it's that balance that we want to be seeking here. So Mercury, we have Mercury in the sign of Capricorn as well. And I want to take a look at this because Mercury is in shadow phase right now. So it's going to retrograde on the 29th. So we're going to end this year with a Mercury retrograde and begin 2023 with a Mercury retrograde. Not a time to panic. If you follow my videos, you know I'm not for using astrology in a way that takes away our power or puts us in victim mode. It's about co-creating with these energies in the highest timeline. So, Mercury retrograde is a time to really go within and have deeper insight into our intuition, the decisions that we make, and really taking time to think them through instead of acting impulsively. Doesn't mean we sit with things forever, but we check in with our intuition, our gut instinct. We always know what is right for us. It's just about trusting that. So, Mercury in the sign of Capricorn here in shadow phase, pretty close to Pluto. So, I feel it's quite significant right now, especially as we look at that alongside the Mars retrograde in Gemini, continuing to have that awareness of what we are focusing on, what we're giving our attention to. And Mercury in Capricorn is very good at seeing the bigger picture. It's very good at planning for the future. So, looking at the actions you take today and how they could pay off a year from now. Like, what are you doing today to build momentum as you move into 2023? This is a message from the records as well. It's so much easier to grow, whether this is in your business. I talk to my clients about this instead of the, starting and stopping motion in your business. It's so much easier if you have that momentum to carry you. This doesn't mean you're working all the time, that you're not taking a break from the holidays. It just means there's certain tasks that you are still consistently showing up for, because in the long run, that actually serves you. There's a workout program that I do, and the instructor in it says, if you're tired of starting over, then stop quitting. And so this applies to any area of our life. If we are starting and stopping, like if we go a month without working out and then we try to get back into it, it's harder than if we were consistently working out a few times a week. In your business, if you're posting and sharing content on social media a few times each week, that becomes a habit. That becomes an energy that builds, and your audience will grow. But if you go a month or 2 months and you just kind of disappear and then you start again, it's a lot harder. So it's that consistency of our actions that really pays off over time. So just think about that. How does that look in your life at this time? Just something to reflect on there. But Mercury, Capricorn, great for planning for the future. Where it is conjunct Pluto here, this represents that the changes you have made in your mindset throughout this year, and that you're still called to make. So as you're looking at the intentions that you're setting for the year ahead, what belief systems and decisions are required in order to move into that? There's so much I could say around this. Obviously, we know our belief systems are important. They really determine whether or not we reach a goal. They determine how we feel. So you need to have your belief systems in alignment with what you want to create, those core beliefs, not so much thoughts. Thoughts are fleeting, thoughts come and go in and out of our field, but it's those core beliefs that we hold on to about ourselves and about the world that ultimately determine the results we create in our life. So there's some big transformation happening there. Now, Mercury is also sextiling Neptune here. So I really love this aspect. So Capricorn archetype is about structure, discipline, very masculine. Neptunian energy is all about transcendence. It's about our spiritual self. So this is really powerful because I think it invites us to look at, as you make decisions, as you set your goals for the year ahead, make sure that they light you up and they align to your path, that you are not setting goals based on what someone told you to do in a program, right? Or when you look online and you see what other people are achieving. No, come back to your heart, the wisdom of your heart, your soul's truth. What do you actually desire? What do you actually desire for your life? That's what you want to move towards. So really potent energies here that we are working with, right? This is quite powerful. So we also have Jupiter here, 0 degrees of Aries. So I spoke about this earlier in the video. Jupiter recently moving into Aries is really going to pick up momentum as it moves throughout the sign. It's forming a square over here with the new moon. So that is one of the most significant aspects of this new moon, is the square with Jupiter. So this is so supportive as well for expansion in your business, because we're working with these energies of Capricorn here, or your career. It's like you're ready to elevate. You're ready. I know you are. If you're watching this video, you're like, all right, I am ready to expand into new levels of abundance. I'm ready to really be grounded in my power. I'm ready for growth. Like, bring it on. I'm ready. So this energy is really supporting you with that, but it's not in a rush. This is not a chaotic energy. Capricorn is an earth sign. It's a cardinal earth sign. So that's where it's very ambitious, but it's not in a rush. It's about creating sustainable success, a solid foundation that supports us over time. So this energy is not chaotic or in a rush, especially with that Mars retrograde, but it is still a very productive, goal-oriented energy. And it's really interesting. You can see that pattern every time, like as we move into the later part of December and into January, and a lot of the planets each year are in Capricorn, you can see how that plays out. Like, we tend to be just very focused. What do I want to create this year? We're more structured. Like, that's very much that Capricorn energy supporting us with that. So that square formation is a lot of energy and a lot of power to really expand in your life. And ask yourself, what are you expanding into? What are you ready to elevate into? This could be different for each of us. Jupiter this year as well. So I talked about this in a workshop that I did, Cosmic Codes of 2023. The replay is now available. So as soon as you sign up, you have instant access to the replay and the incredible bonus content. So Jupiter, as it moves into Aries and even goes into the early degrees of Taurus this next year, this is creating expansion in your birth chart in a certain area. This is an area where you're going to see expansion and growth and abundance. So feel free to check out Cosmic Codes. It was so powerful. I even give you a bonus workbook with the power days for the coming year as well. And then we did some really powerful work in the Akashic Records. So I guide you through a process to open your Akashic Records, and in that space to align with your highest timeline for the year ahead. Very powerful work, like quantum shifting in the records. It's amazing. So that is available. I'll put that in the comments if you want to explore that. So yes, lots of energy there, growth and expansion. The other thing that I want to take a look at in the chart is the ruler of this new moon is Saturn. So Saturn rules over Capricorn, which makes it the ruler of this new moon. It also is related to structure and discipline, creating a solid foundation for our success. Next year, Saturn is moving into the sign of Pisces. We have a lot of planets shifting next year, making it a very, very powerful year of change and transformation. So that's another area of your chart that's going to change. Wherever Saturn is moving into is where there's going to be more structure and discipline required. So collectively here, Saturn is currently in Aquarius, and this is about really how you share your unique gifts with the world. Like, what you do matters. And we're seeing this in a few spaces as well. So Venus in Capricorn trining Uranus over here in Taurus really speaks to this as well as Saturn in Aquarius. So you have unique set of gifts to share with this planet. And when I say that, sometimes our ego wants to say, I'm not unique. There's so many other people sharing a message I want to share, doing the work I want to do. And it's not so much that maybe your message is something that no one has ever heard before, or the tools you use are something that no one has ever heard before. It's more about how you embody it. It's more about the unique combination of your knowledge, your gifts, your story, your journey that is really special, right? No one has your unique journey of the soul throughout lifetimes, the gifts that you have mastered, and then this lifetime, your unique journey. So this new moon really is about showing up and trusting that, sharing your brilliance with the world, allowing your light to really shine. There's definitely an invitation for that this new moon. Hi, Katana. That's my cat, Katana. She just jumped up on the table, distracting me. So that's another aspect here that we're really really playing with that aspect between Venus and Uranus that really encourages you to show up and shine in your brilliance. So, the last thing I want to look at here that is very significant as well is Chiron. Chiron stations direct on the day of this new moon. Chiron is the wounded healer. So it represents where each of us has pain or trauma or healing that we are working through in our life. But it also represents how we don't have to be perfectly healed. What does that even mean, right? It's like in order to show up and shine and share our gifts with the world. So Chiron has been retrograde since July 19th of this year. So, this can be a time to reflect on what is the healing journey you've been on throughout these past, I guess that's like 6 months, right? Almost 6 months from July 19th to now. What is that healing journey you've been on, especially with Chiron and Aries as it comes to the self, how you see yourself and your abilities and your leadership and just your view of the self, the identity that you play in and take on? What is the work you've done in that area? Because now that it's direct, again, it's that momentum of, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for expansion. I'm ready to show up. And please don't wait till you're like perfectly healed. Like our mind can tell this story of there's more healing work I have to do. I'm still afraid. I was talking to a private client about this the other day. I'm like, don't wait for the fear to go away. You are human. The fear is always going to be there. It doesn't get to control what you do and how you show up. Don't wait for your life to be perfect because there's always going to be things in life that come up. It's how we navigate them. It's how we move through the challenges that really matter. It's not waiting for that not to be there anymore. And that's what Aries really reminds us of, especially with Jupiter in Aries and Chiron in Aries. It's like, it's okay. You are greater than the obstacles, you are greater than the challenges, you are unstoppable. Like, what exactly are you waiting for? Show up now. That's kind of the invitation here, right? And whatever capacity feels most aligned for you at this time, but like don't create stories of like not now or I'm not quite ready. There's so much brilliance and healing gifts and medicine that you have that the planet is needing at this time. Show up and share. And as the kicker here, we also have Chiron in aspect with Mars. So that is another sign as well of you're ready, show up, but it's not a rushed energy because Mars is retrograde still. So it's show up intentionally, not just for the sake of showing up, but be very intentional about what you're giving your energy and your focus to. But it's time for you to share that magic. The world is ready. If you found your way here, I know you're ready to share. I know you have gifts that the world is needing. I know that for sure. Okay. I feel like there may be one other thing I want to mention here. So, Saturn is also forming a square with Uranus. This is significant to talk about simply because this is an aspect that we've been playing with these past 2 years. On and off, Saturn and Uranus have been in this square formation. And this speaks to the change that we're seeing collectively of challenging old structures and systems. Saturn is about tradition and structure. Uranus is about growth and evolution. So we've seen that, and the square formation is a point of tension. So we've seen how that has played out collectively, where we are looking at the traditions that are in place, what serves us and what is just outdated. Where is it time to grow and expand and evolve, and what actually serves us? What do we want to take with us into the future? And the macro is always a reflection of the micro as well. So what I mean by that is, how is this playing out in your personal life? These past 2 years, what have been areas where you are called to grow and change, where unexpected things have come in that may feel like it shakes your foundation, but it's actually wanting you to grow and evolve and expand? Uranus is all about that. Like, it doesn't care about maintaining the status quo. It doesn't care if it's uncomfortable. It's all about evolution and growth and change. So very significant here because this aspect isn't too strong right now, and as Saturn goes direct, moving more into Pisces next year, we're not going to see that anymore. But this is where we then take the lessons and look at, okay, how am I more comfortable with change and growth and evolution now? How am I embracing that more in my life? So that is our new moon energy. Let me stop the share here. So as you can see, very potent energies to create in. If you would like support in creating with them, be sure to grab Cosmic Codes of 2023. I'll put the link below. There's an option as well to there's a VIP option. So if you want to connect one-on-one where I can go over your astrology with you, open your records, support you in working with your energetic blueprint to create a plan for the year ahead. That is my genius. I love to help people work with their energetic blueprint and then ground it in very practical ways to reach the goals that they have, to live the life that they're really here to live in the highest timeline. I'd love to support you with that. All right. So much love to you. Enjoy this holiday season, and I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.